Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Susan Buchser-Lochocki, and I'm here to continue reading a book about the Constitution, and this is part 2. So the name of it is If You Were There When They Signed the Constitution by Elizabeth Levy, illustrated by Joan Holub. It's from Scholastic. I'll pick up on page 13. So, are you ready? Here we go. How well did Congress work under the Articles of Confederation? Not very well at all. The rebel government needed money to fight the war, but there was no way to make the states pay up. If the fighting was in New York, the states far away would not send money. General Washington had to go to Congress again and again to beg for bullets, food, clothes for his rebel soldiers. James Madison from Virginia was a young rebel congressman. He wanted to help Washington and his soldiers. He decided that the Articles of Confederation did not work because Congress could not make the states tax people to pay for war. Alexander Hamilton was a young aide de camp to General Washington. In 1780, while the Revolution was still going on, he wrote, "There is only one remedy, to call a convention of all the states, and the sooner the better." Alexander Hamilton and James Madison were two of the leaders of the fight to get the new Constitution. And here's pictures from the previous one. Why didn't the 13 states unite into a real nation during the Revolution? The states were fighting a war to make sure they weren't ruled and taxed by a government far away. The rebels wanted to control their own lives. During the Revolution, most states wrote their own constitutions. Each state elected its own leaders. They were proud to be free of kings. One reason nobody thought the 13 states could be one nation was that we were so big. 10 times bigger than most countries. 1,200 miles long from north to south. It took weeks for people to get news from one state to another. If you lived in Boston, you probably thought of your nation as the state of Massachusetts. Your money wasn't good in Rhode Island. When William Houston of Georgia went to New York, he wrote that he was leaving his country to go to a strange land amongst strangers. What happened after we won the Revolutionary War? It was a time of great experiments in government. The newly freed states enjoyed making their own rules, but they had many problems, especially with foreign countries. England had lost the war, but she refused to leave the forts in the West, even though the peace treaty said she must. "Make me," said England. We had no way of making anyone do anything. The minute the revolution was over, the men in the army went home. Nobody had paid their wages for months. Nobody wanted to pay taxes. There was no way to make England give up the forts. That wasn't all. So here, this was the previous reading, if you want to read along. And here is the other one. Then, so that wasn't all. Pirates at sea caught American citizens and put them into slavery. The 13 states could not agree on how to deal with the Indian tribes, nor what to do with the Western territories. Spain owned all the land west of the Mississippi and wouldn't allow any Americans to use the Mississippi River south of Natchez, I think I'm saying that right, until the 13 states could find a way to speak with one voice. No foreign country would have to listen. And that wasn't all. Most people in the new states were farmers. After the war, prices went up. Many farmers owed a lot of money. In those times, if you couldn't pay your debts, you could go to jail. Soon, many farmers found themselves in jail. I'll finish this part. So in 1786 in Massachusetts, Daniel Shays, a hero of the Revolution, led a group of farmers in a revolt against the state of Massachusetts. They wanted to keep their farms and get help for their debts. Shays' rebellion didn't get very far. Shays and his men were defeated. 4 people were killed, and most of the rebel farmers fled into the woods, but news of Shays' rebellion scared people. They were afraid the revolt of the farmers would spread. The new national government had not been able to help Massachusetts. General Washington was alarmed. "I am mortified beyond expression," he said, "when I view the clouds that have spread over the brightest morn that ever dawned in any country. What a triumph for our enemies." But Thomas Jefferson, another leader of the American Revolution, was not worried. "I like a little rebellion now and then," he wrote. "The spirit of resistance to government is so valuable on occasion that I wish it to be always kept alive." So that's where we're going to end today. Unfortunately, there's no picture to go with our words, but that's how it goes. So, thank you for stopping by. This is part 2 of If You Were There When They Signed the Constitution. Thank you for stopping in my kitchen. It was nice to see you today. I wish you all a great day. Take care. See you soon.